You don't know what you got in store, baby. You got to face the God of War. And get ready, baby. Fire in the house.
Jake Paul will be up against. He'll get teased for taking this fight, for one. He'll get teased for that. He'll work himself through that. But, yeah, if he goes out there and cleans his clock, they're going to come down on him.
Tyron Woodley, once a rival of Paul's. He argues that age won't be a decisive factor. Experience heavily favors Mike Tyson. Woodley remains steadfast, saying even if Paul were to defeat Tyson, he wouldn't discount Tyson's legacy. Woodley adds that Tyson's muscle memory alone could unleash devastating moves, capable of causing severe harm even unintentionally.
In trouble in both the first and 10th rounds, and now he's in trouble here. Blood coming out from the nose of Jesse Ferguson. The right uppercut of Tyson has put him down.
He stressed Tyson's immense power, indicating Tyson's capability to rearrange internal organs with a forceful blow. Woodley suggested Tyson possesses the power and skill to shift organs within the body, indicating Tyson's depth of technique far surpasses Paul's. Additionally, Woodley expressed that if Paul were to be knocked out by Tyson, regardless of Tyson's age, Paul would simply join the many ordinary individuals who would suffer the same fate against Tyson. UFC welterweight contender Matt Brown suggests that facing Tyson at this stage would be a step backward in Paul's career. Brown emphasizes the lose-lose scenario for Paul, where winning or losing against Tyson, despite his age, presents challenges.
At the end of the day, Mike Tyson, just watching the dude hit f***ing pass in the bag, like, I always have this inside joke. They'd be like, how much would you have to get paid to fight Mike Tyson? I'm like, I'd never be able to spend it. Like, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, he's fighting the person, the one fighter that most people fear. And I feel like 58, 27, the age is not a factor. That's a wash, right? Experience level obviously is going to go to Mike Tyson. But Jake's had a screw loose, man.
Brown notes the inevitability of viewership and financial gain, but highlights the undesirable nature of the situation. He emphasizes that in the realm of actual fighting, losing to or beating a 60-year-old man, both to Brown, the whole setup feels like trash. He explains that Paul seems to be embracing the role of the antagonist, aiming to attract viewers who hope to witness his downfall. Brown observes that Paul wants to be the villain, drawing in viewers eager to see him defeated, even if it means facing a 60-year-old opponent. He sees this as a predictable storyline. Brown expresses disappointment, seeing the upcoming match with Tyson as lacking legitimacy and substance, unworthy of serious attention. He contrasts it with fights like Tyron Woodley's, where the outcome was uncertain due to Woodley's skill. Brown dismisses the upcoming match as mere rubbish, lacking the depth of a meaningful contest. On the other hand, Teddy Atlas, Mike Tyson's former coach, shared his perspective on the unexpected fight involving Jake Paul.
I'm actually a fan of Jake Paul's, and I'll tell you why. The American dream. He had a vision, he had a belief. He went out there, he took all his YouTube, whatever you call those freaking things, all his YouTube followers. He went to a different platform, to a different arena. As I said, he had a vision for what he was going to do.
Additionally, Atlas admitted to becoming a supporter of Jake Paul, attributing it not to insignificant reasons but to Paul's clear vision. Atlas pointed out that Paul had lost to Tommy Fury, but he underscored that the match was competitive. He conveyed his respect for Paul's respect for boxing, noting that in his 50 years in the sport, he saw Paul's dedication to training and improvement rather than disrespect towards boxing. We're well aware of Tyson's recent remarkable transformation, where he's taken control of his life and fortunes with impressive results. Matt Brown expressed surprise at Tyson's decision to take the fight against Paul. He questioned Tyson's motivation, given that Tyson doesn't seem to be in dire need of money or have a strong desire to fight at the moment. Despite pressing pause on other aspects of his life to focus on training for the bout scheduled in July, Brown finds Tyson's sudden dedication perplexing. Brown noted Tyson's public statements about not wanting to be that guy anymore, which makes his decision to take the fight even more unusual. While Brown supports Paul's participation in high-profile fights against non-boxers, akin to his bouts with Nate Diaz or Ben Askren, he fails to grasp the need for Tyson to face an opponent who's only a few years away from being classified as a senior citizen. Brown expressed his enthusiasm for sideshow fights and suggested matchups like Mike Perry, which he believes would be more fitting for Tyson. Let's get Mike Perry a bag. He's clearly a standout in Kingstar and BKFC. Now everyone's buzzing about him, and he'd be fantastic for promotions. If Paul is seeking a challenging showdown with a prominent figure outside of boxing, Brown has just the right suggestion, and it definitely doesn't involve facing Tyson. Brown believes there are plenty of guys like Perry who would make for perfect sideshow matchups. Tyson isn't one of them. Brown advocates leaving him alone. Despite his reluctance to witness the fight, Brown holds onto a sliver of hope that Tyson is approaching this opportunity seriously, gearing up for a genuine battle with the aim of knocking Paul's head off. Brown finds the whole situation garbage once more, expressing surprise at Tyson's decision and questioning his motives. Brown even entertains a more extreme wish, shared by many, for Tyson to tap into the intense energy and aggression of his youth, even suggesting hypothetically that Tyson might resort to performance enhancers. He jokingly imagines Tyson unleashing his young 20-year-old rage, taking steroids, and delivering a knockout blow to Jake Paul, dissuading him from ever boxing an older opponent again. In a recent episode of his podcast, Podcast P with Paul George engaged in a spirited discussion with his fellow hosts before revealing his prediction for the upcoming bout. This forecast has sharply divided the boxing community. Many fans lean towards the 27-year-old Paul as the likely winner, highlighting his youth as an advantage despite his relative inexperience. However, there's a dedicated group who refuse to bet against Mike Tyson. Despite the significant age gap between the two fighters, Paul George maintains his stance that he shouldn't sway opinions either way.
I'm not going against Iron Mike. I'm not going against Mike Tyson.
I'm not neither.
Mike Tyson is one of those guys that you see his name, I'm voting Mike Tyson. I'm going for Mike Tyson.
In a notable incident from 2020, Tyson didn't hold back in critiquing Jake Paul's fighting style, suggesting he'd step into the ring himself if he were in peak condition. Tyson remarked that Paul's punches were telegraphed, stating, "You can see that coming a mile away. I'm 55. I can see that coming a mile away." Tyson expressed confidence in his ability to defeat such opponents, emphasizing a straightforward approach without boxing intricacies, provided he was in shape. In an intriguing twist, Tyson's brief observation during Jake Paul's sparring session lasted only half a minute before he abruptly left the scene. Trainer Freddy Roach recounted that Tyson exited the ring shortly after the bout began. Roach recalled Tyson looking at him and leaving, expressing more interest in viewing pictures downstairs. Roach also shared his opinion on Paul, describing him as an average club-level fighter. Despite not knowing Paul personally, Roach allowed him to use the gym's ring upon request. On the other hand, Paul had a lot to say about those claims and implied that Tyson had never actually witnessed him in action. Speaking to TalkSport, he rebutted the assertions made by Freddy Roach, stating emphatically, "First and foremost, I saw these things that Freddy Roach was saying that I was sparring at his gym." Paul firmly denied ever training at Roach's gym and proceeded to criticize Roach, labeling him as mistaken and disparaging him as someone who no longer trains any notable fighters. He added, "First of all, I've never even trained at Wildcard Gym. Freddy's a freaking idiot. He's a hater. He literally trains zero good fighters anymore. And as a Jake Paul hater, Mike Tyson has never watched me spar. Mike Tyson has never been in the gym at the same time as me sparring." Additionally, Paul asserted that Mike Tyson had never seen him spar and had never been in the gym at the same time as him. He elaborated, "I went to Wildcard once to talk to somebody for a meeting and for my brother's press conference there, but Mike Tyson wasn't anywhere in the vicinity, so it's just Freddy Roach spreading rumors." Despite initial skepticism about Jake Paul's skills, Tyson seems to have changed his perspective with the announcement of their upcoming bout this summer. The seasoned fighter expressed genuine anticipation. And that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.